Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome everybody back and happy Friday. Isn't Fridays awesome? I love Fridays. It makes me feel good, and I think it'll make everyone else feel good. Today, I'm going to be covering a topic that we all struggle with in some points in our lives, and that is learning to love yourself. I feel like we don't do that enough, and sometimes we feel like we don't deserve the best, but I'm here to tell you that we all deserve the best. Life is too short, and I feel like it's important not to shortchange ourselves and go out and experience the best that life has to offer. Why not? We deserve it. Let's bring us happiness and bring joy. There's too much negativity in the world. So I have some ways and some tips that I feel like we can all use and apply in our lives into learning how to love yourself. The first thing, tip number one, is go to the gym. It feels good going to the gym, getting a workout, improving our health. It helps us clear our mind and help us focus. I started going to the gym myself late last year, and I haven't really regretted my decision. I really enjoy being around people, and I'm bettering myself as a person. And so many people have different goals and aspirations when going to the gym. Some may use it as, you know what, I want to get in better shape for myself. I want to push myself. And unfortunately, there may be an instance where, let's say that you're involved in a marriage and it's not working out, and you're with a super shallow person because they're constantly belittling you and putting you down. Oh, you're too fat. You don't look good. Instead of like encouraging them, it's like, hey, you know what? Let's work out together. Let's try to achieve a goal as one, as a couple, as husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, vice versa, right? But instead, they're constantly putting you down. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to be married to you anymore. I'm not in love with you. So they end the marriage and divorce because of that reason. And that person is like super shallow, right? But then there's other instance where we can use it as two options. We can use it as fuel and motivation, or we can wallow in self-pity. And if we can use it as fuel, it's like, you know what? You didn't love me for who I was as a person. I'm going to make you regret your decision. I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. And we can use it as fuel and motivation, as a springboard. And then you may end up with someone else who not only is better for you, not only mentally and physically, but all the above. And they love you for exactly who you are as a person. And I feel it's important that if we surround ourselves with positive people, then great things will happen. Reason number two, and that is we have to learn not to keep up with the Joneses. And what do I mean by that? How does keeping up with the Joneses tie into learning to love yourself? Well, you know how sometimes we seek validation and approval and love from other people, and we tend to do things that we normally don't do. For example, what does people usually notice? Your car. Well, for the most part. And you have a nice car, you have a Kia, a Toyota, which is nothing wrong with those type of cars, by the way. They're very reliable to get you where you need to go from point A to point B. Very reliable, especially if you keep up with the maintenance, right? But you want a certain amount of people. You want a certain group of people. So what do? We go out of our comfort zone, but not only that, we go out of our way to please everybody. And that's a dangerous game. Instead of sticking with the car that you have because you're trying to impress people, you go out of your way and you spend over your budget. You get a car from out of the showroom, and it feels good, right? And it's great to feel good. We want to have nice things, but if you can afford it, if you can't afford it, you're only hurting yourself. And then all of a sudden you have all these people that's around you because they see the money, they see the car, your social status was lifted. Your previous car wasn't good enough, but all of a sudden you got all these people's attention, their love and their approval and their validation. But as I said before, you can barely afford that car, so it's just a temporary feeling. And then next thing you know it, you wake up, the car is gone and it's towed, impounded because you can't afford to make the payments anymore. And those same people will see you driving your regular car. They're not going to go out of their way to be around you because they're like, oh, you ain't got no money. Being around this person is not beneficial to me anymore. Bye. So what does that tell you? That keeping up with the Joneses is a dangerous game. We can't get caught up like, oh, the latest model came out, I have to get it. Oh, the new shoe came out. There's a lot of pressure involved in that. And I think we have to learn to, like, you know what, it's not the end of the world if I don't have the latest trend. life is still going to go on. And I feel it's important that if we want nice things, we have to learn that, okay, if I can afford it and if it's in my budget and I have this extra cash to spend, why not? Life is too short, right? But if you can't afford it, then don't do it, because you're only hurting yourself. And then reason number 3 on how we can love ourselves is splurge on yourself. Like, learn to make yourself happy. And what do I mean by splurging on yourself? Go out and get facials, get a haircut, get your hair done. If you see those new pairs of shoes you want, if you see a nice suit that you know that that suit is meant for you, then buy it. If you can afford it and if it makes you feel good, then buy it. We all deserve nice things. But it all comes down to our finances. If your finances allow it, then buy it. I have a personal experience with this. I started going to Express. I'd never been there before, and I became inspired. And how I became inspired is that as I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw a user and I really liked his outfits, and most of his outfits came from Express. I don't remember his name. There's lots of users out there. And I became inspired, and I thought to myself, you know what, maybe I should start going to Express. And I started going there, and I just love the environment. I love the people, the atmosphere. It makes me feel good when I try the clothes on and when I buy them. I feel Express has the best to offer. Now, note, like, when you go there, be prepared to spend some money. But to me, it's okay, because I feel like it's worth the investment, and I feel like it's worth spending the money because it makes yourself feel good. Like, I have a lot of pride. It makes me feel like I'm standing out. I'm going for a more sophisticated look, and it makes me feel good. And it's worth spending the money to me. And I can understand that, you know what, the store is too expensive and I can't afford it. And that's fine. I'm not, telling you guys to go out of your way to spend, that extra money. And if you feel like the clothes are too expensive, then don't do it. But if you feel like you want to try on something nice and you're like, you know what, the hell with it. Let me go buy this shirt. I know it's like, for example, $50 for one shirt. Let's try it out. Let's see if I like it. So that's my advice when it comes to like going to the store, trying out new clothes. And if you feel like it's worth the money, then buy it. And then reason number 4, peer pressure. I feel like that's so important that so many people can relate to. You know how sometimes when we see it in movies that you want to get involved in certain cliques, and high school students all around experience this, and you want to be cool, you want to feel like you're validated, that you're somebody, but they don't like you for who you are as a person, so they make you change everything about yourself. Well, if you want to be a part of our group, you need to do this for us, you need to do that, you need to start dressing like this. And I feel like, why go through all that? Why put ourselves through that heartache and pain? Not only if you start to lose yourself in the process, but you lose your principles, your values, what makes you who you are as a person, what makes you unique. And, unfortunately in this life and in this world, we're going to run into people that aren't going to like us. And I feel the most important thing that we can take away is that if they don't like us, it's not the end of the world. Instead of trying to please everybody to fit in with a certain amount of group, be involved with people who already loves you for who you are as a person. You surround yourself with great people who likes everything about you, who enjoys just your presence and your company. That's the type of people we all need to be around, and great things will happen because you're surrounded by positivity. So in the long run, don't change yourself. Embrace yourself. Don't change who you are as a person. Be true to yourself. And I think that's it. Those are the tips that I have. Just a sample size. I appreciate you guys for listening. I hope those tips are helpful. And if you guys have any other ways that we can learn to love ourselves, feel free to share. Feel free to comment. I look forward to reading them. I look forward to interacting. And that'll be the end of my speech. Once again, thank you for listening. Until next time, take care, guys. And once again, happy Friday. Peace out.